the Northern Crown, Corona Borealis. If you aren't aware, I have been following this subject for quite some time. Before our current situation, I decided to work on the comet legend. I have found that mythology is rife with prophetic warnings from our ancient ancestors, which do indeed relate to our prevailing circumstances. In Greek mythology, Corona Borealis was connected to the legend of Theseus and the Minotaur. It was generally considered to represent a crown given by Dionysus to Ariadne, the daughter of Minos of Crete, after she had been abandoned by the Athenian prince Theseus. When she wore the crown at her marriage to Dionysus, he placed it in the heavens to commemorate their wedding. An alternate version has the besotted Dionysus give the crown to Ariadne, who in turn gives it to Theseus, after he arrives in Crete to kill the Minotaur, that the Cretians have demanded tribute from Athens to feed it. The hero uses the crown's light to escape the labyrinth after disposing of the creature, and Dionysus later sets it in the heavens. The Latin author Hyginus linked it to a crown or wreath worn by Bacchus, Dionysus, to disguise his appearance when first approaching Mount Olympus and revealing himself to the gods, having been previously hidden as yet another of Jupiter's affairs with a mortal, in this case Samael. Corona Borealis was one of the 48 constellations mentioned in the Almagest of the classical astronomer Ptolemy. In Welsh mythology, it was called Caer Ariantod. To the ancient Balts, Corona Borealis was known as Darzelos, the flower garden. The Arabs called the constellation Al-Fekar, a name later given to Alpha Coronae Borealis, which means separated or broken up. Al-Fekar, a reference to the resemblance of the stars of Corona Borealis to a loose string of jewels. Al-Fekar loosely means the bright one of the broken ring. In Arabic, Gemma, and in Latin it is jewel. The crown jewel. possibly also relating to gematria. This was also interpreted as a broken dish. Among the Bedouins, the constellation was known as Qasat al-Masakin, or the dish bowl of the poor people, possibly relating to the demon bowl incantations. But the bowl's shape also means water. They are either cognate, or the concepts have been entwined. The Skiddy people of Native Americans saw Corona Borealis's stars representing a council of stars, whose chief was Polaris. The constellation also symbolized the smoke hole over a fireplace, which conveyed their messages to the gods, and how chiefs should come together to consider matters of importance. The Shawnee people saw the stars as the heavenly sisters who descended from the sky every night to dance on earth. Alpheka signifies the youngest and most comely sister, who was seized by a hunter, who transformed into a field mouse in order to get close to her. They married, though later she returned to the sky, with her heartbroken husband and son following later. The Micmac of eastern Canada saw Corona Borealis as Miskagwam, the den of the celestial bear. Polynesian peoples often recognized Corona Borealis. The people of Tuamotus named it Ki Tukurau, and probably Tehetu. The constellation was likely called Kauamea in Hawaii, Rangawanua in New Zealand, and Tuwali o Awitu in the Cook Islands, atoll of Puka Puka. The name in Tonga is uncertain, Ao Uvea or Kaukupenga. The Wailwan people of northwestern New South Wales saw Corona Borealis, Mullayan Wallahi, the eagle's nest, with Altair and Vega, each called Mull Lion, as the pair of eagles accompanying it. The Wardaman people of northern Australia held the constellation to be a gathering point for men's law, women's law, and law of both sexes come together and consider matters of existence. Corona Borealis was also of great interest to H.P. Lovecraft. The constellation was featured as a main plot ingredient in the short story Hypnos, published in 1923. It is the object of fear of one of the protagonists in the short story. There appears to be more truth in fiction.